So in my last video, I talked about how my first season really trying to breed crested geckos did not go to plan. But I did talk about some silver linings, including showing all of the hatchlings that I personally have, as well as pictures that my buddy has from a pairing that he and I did between two of our geckos. In this video, we're going to be showing all of the hatchlings from a pairing of my own geckos that I did using the same male from that previous video, as well as this beautiful lily white female. So that's Daisy, and I have, let's see, 1, 6, 7, 8 hatchlings from her this past year, and we will start with the first ones and move through. So get to see some cool looking babies here. I am super duper stoked on the way that these have been growing and the way that they look. So here we have an awesome tricolor lily white with tons of white on it. Not fired up right now, but still just looks really, really awesome. That one is definitely one of my favorites, but there are more. So next we have this beautiful yellow lily white. I will try to get some better pictures or video of these fired up, but this one is going to be awesome. The white is already spreading on it. You can see it starting to want to connect. Yeah, we'll just let you hang out there. This gecko is going to look incredible, and you can see how light it fires down as well. So these are the first two that hatched. And here we have the next one. So I think this is going to end up being another tricolor, obviously lily white, but I can't fully tell yet. I'm pretty sure though you can see some of that yellow pattern coming in underneath the base. You can also see the drippiness starting to come in, and I think this one is going to have more pattern on it than the first one that we showed, because this one has more white in the neck area than the first one did. What is this? So here is the next one that hatched from this pairing, and we can see that this is another yellow lily white. This one looks a bit differently and has full pinning on it, so it's a bit different than the other yellow that we hatched from this pairing. But you noticed up to this point that they have all been lily whites, which is crazy. So this one, it's cool looking. I'm not as excited about it, but it's still an awesome looking gecko. And this may be one that I'd be willing to sell or part with. That's another subject to talk about in these types of videos, is like, what am I going to be keeping and what am I going to be yeeting, as some people would say. And that's a difficult question because I want to see what these look like as they grow out. There's a lot of them that look really cool, but there are some that I would potentially be willing to yeet. Moving on. Next up, we have a extreme harlequin. I think this one is going to be a lav, and it's kind of just a good looking gecko. It's got a lot of pattern spreading on it, and you can see how much that pattern really is spreading on this one already, and how fired down it is, how light it is. It gets a bit darker whenever it fires up, and I'm definitely excited to watch this one grow. Don't know how likely it is that I will want to hang on to this one, but it's a great one. You can see the pattern and the top there beginning to connect even right there. This is going to be an awesome looking gecko. And there's the porthole whites on the sides there. I like this one a lot. And I just realized there's a way easier way to film this with this little shoebox, plastic shoebox. This one right here is one I am not entirely sure about. I think this might end up being a yellow-based harlequin with white on its sides, but I can't fully tell. So I am definitely excited to see this one as it progresses. Wish it would eat more crickets. It just won't. But it's just another one that when it hatched out, I was like, wow, this looks so different than the others. But I am once again excited to see how it grows out. And I don't have a yellow harlequin, so we'll see. Don't know about this one either. It's so hard. You want to keep all of them. But you also know that you can't keep all of them, because how does this work if you keep everything? I get it. Next up is one that I am once again extremely excited to watch grow, and you're going to see why. Because this one hatched out with nearly a solid dorsal on it, and something about the white and pattern on its sides is already looking insane. I can't tell what the base is going to be on it because it just looks gray, and the head on it, I don't know. There's something about this gecko that's different than all of the others from this pairing, and I don't know. I'm just not experienced enough to know what that is yet, or if I'm just seeing a really high quality animal, or maybe not. But all I do know is that this one is crazy looking. It's eating bugs regularly, and you can just see the pattern spreading, and I notice it every single time that it sheds. This one is definitely on the keep list right now. So next up is this little gecko that I am still unsure about. There's a funny story with this one that I was just going to feed one night right before the lights were going to go out in this room, and I look into the mom's tank and I just see this gecko in the leaves in the tank. I had thought she had already finished laying, so I wasn't really checking for eggs, and lo and behold, there was another one, and it hatched out in the tank. So the reason why I'm just unsure about this one is that I cannot tell if it is a lily white or not. It looks to be, you have that white on the sides, but you look at the tail and it kind of looks like one, kind of doesn't. The tangerine look to it that it has on the back just reminds me of what lily whites will sometimes do, and some of the other lily whites from this pairing. But also part of me hopes that it is just that white on the portholes and they are just that pronounced already, because that would make this gecko that much more fun to watch grow out. So if you have any thoughts or opinions on if this is a lily white, let me know. You can see the tail. It just kind of looks washed out like a lily white would, but I just can't tell. So here's a bit of a look at its belly to try and help with this judgment. There you go. Great look at its belly. And back into this one's little enclosure. But to talk a little bit more about the season and this pairing and whether or not I'm happy with it, I am absolutely thrilled with the results from this pairing. I had no idea there would be this much variety from it, from the amount of lily whites to yellow and lavender, and not being able to tell really, probably lavender, the ones that I can't really tell, to super high coverage pattern animals, to yellow lavender, yellow harlequins. I think it's just a lot of variety there, so much so that I may want to do this pairing again for this season. I'm not sure who I would pair her with if I didn't do that, but I am absolutely happy with the way that turned out, and it being the only pairing that I did myself here where I have all of the offspring, I'm happy with that. So that's how my first season went. I have a ton of pictures and video of all of these hatchlings eating crickets for the first time, and just from the very beginning all the way up to where they're at now. So I'll toss some of that in here throughout. And if you have any thoughts, names, or if you even might like to purchase one of these geckos, let me know. Could be interesting. And there will probably be a part 3 to this, because What does that? What was that? I don't know what that is. See you next time.